What's up, YouTube? So before we get started this video, first take is going to go over James Harden and the MVP-like year he's having. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Max Kellerman, I know you're on the Giannis train, but are you starting to rethink that after another 50-point performance from the Beard?
Oh, you think I'm like Stephen A. Smith, huh? Talking Thunder the whole year, and then at the last second, I'm not so sure about the Thunder anymore when I've been on the Rockets, right?
Yep.
You think I'm going to pull a Stephen A. Smith?
I do.
You're absolutely right. You know me too well. Yeah, I'm having second thoughts about the Greek Freak as MVP at this point. What James Harden is doing, what I can't get over, guys, is at this time of the season, 3 games and 4 nights, all on the road, second of back-to-back on the road. You've been carrying the load all year, unlike anything we've seen in the modern era, because when Chris Paul and Clint Capella are out, the whole team is relying on Harden. Of course, Eric Gordon can play, but Harden's the whole engine. And he averaged what he averaged night in and night out in the winning cause. And then even last night, they lose by a single possession, 3rd game in 4 nights, second of back-to-back on the road. And the man drops 57 points. I would be...
Yeah, 57 points. That's straight balling out of control. But another stat that everybody already knows is that, so Harden has had the streak of consecutive 30-point games. His streak ended at 32. So he's had 32 consecutive games where he scored 30 points or more. 32 games. That's straight balling out of control. And another stat would be that James Harden has got 30 points against every team he's played this year. Now, you have to know that's just out of control. You have to know that these teams knew after the second or third time that he did it, second or third time he's got 30 points scored, that he's at a streak. And you know teams are trying to stop him, but they haven't been able to do it. They haven't been able to shut him down. So let's keep going.
Lying to you if I sat up here and said, just because I've been taking the Greek Freak the whole year, that I don't have second thoughts. At this moment, it is tough to argue against James Harden.
Well, I'm glad you've seen the light, but I will tell you this. The only thing that I have against James Harden is the fact that he made me shoot 3-pointers with my shirt and tie on, would have let me warm up, and then
Do it again and redeem yourself for everybody.
And then videotaped me shooting like 1 for 15 from 3-point range and taped it and sent it out on social media. That's the only thing I got against James Harden. He set me up. And told me he was going to do it, and I deserved it. No question about it. He said, somebody that talk as much smack as you don't need to be warming up. Hell no. Get out there and shoot. It was embarrassing, to say the least. Having said all of that.
Great video, though.
Having said all of that. Yeah, it was. Having said all that, I did look smooth in the black, too. In the black. I was missing shots, but I looked smooth doing it.
You remember your outfit?
I looked smooth doing
it. My
That's
God.
right.
You're one of a kind.
I remember the outfit when I'm doing like I'm on a golf course, Max, and I'm swinging them golf clubs.
So while Stephen A. is babbling on, I like to give credit where credit's due. James Harden is definitely balling. I don't want to rain on his parade, but we'll see what happens when he gets to the playoffs, though, because he's been known to choke in the playoffs. But regular season, he's been balling, and he has been balling this year, big time. So I'm happy for him. He's doing everything he's doing, but I don't want to hate. But when it came down to it, he got beat by the Golden State. You know I had to throw that in there. So let's just keep going.
Because we know I'm going to hit somebody's window if there's a house on the golf course, okay? I'm going to hit somebody's window. So at least I look good doing it.
All right, prize was the outfit was clean.
But let me say this about James Harden. I'm happy for this brother because I think he's going to win the league MVP again. He'd get my vote today. He's the MVP. Last year, down to the wire, it was such a huge thing between him and Westbrook and these other guys. And it was like, come on. You know, year before that, Westbrook got it instead of him. James Harden has averaged 25 or better per game since he has arrived in Houston. And over the last 4 years, he's averaged 29. This brother's on another level. Make no mistake about it. He's the real deal. He's absolutely sensational. There is no question to me. The Greek Freak, again, if Chris Paul, Clint Capella, Eric Gordon didn't go down, and he wasn't playing in a system like, D'Antoni, that would be different. But to have to carry the load that he has had to carry, And you look at Milwaukee on the other hand with the Greek Freak having Budenholzer.
By the way, that's why it's not over,
harder.
Stephen A. It's not over because we'll see now. Mirotic goes down. Brogdon is down. Let's see what happens now. They're still fighting for the best record in basketball, let alone in the Eastern Conference. Let's see if the Greek Freak can keep this team going without key contributors. I'll say this. Can we see that graphic again, please? Greek Freak versus Harden. I want to show you something, Stephen A. And this is another reason I think it's not over. Look at this. Actually, PER, which is mainly an offensive statistic, it's about how efficient you are offensively. The Greek Freak is ahead of Harden in a primarily offensive statistic. And yes, Harden has almost 10 points more, but the Greek Freak has 6 boards more. Like, statistically, you can still make an argument on offense that it's Antetokounmpo. And defensively, as good as Harden's been playing by his standards, as well as the Greek Freak, it's no comparison. He's
Max,
a much better defender. Let me just say this.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If LeBron James were in the Eastern Conference, stay with me because I'm going somewhere. If LeBron James was in the Eastern Conference, quick answer, where would Cleveland be if LeBron James was still in Cleveland? Where would
they would be in the playoffs? They would be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they'd be in the playoffs too. I can't picture too much changing from what happened for the past 8 years, Stephen A. Not too much has changed from the 8 months ago when he was in the Eastern Conference and he made the playoffs in the finals 8 years in a row. So we're talking about James Harden now, okay? I'm trying to give this man some props because I know when it comes to playoff time, we're going to see a different James Harden. But this is James Harden's time. I'm giving his props. I give props where props due. So let's keep going.
Where are the Lakers now with him?
Out of the playoffs.
So I'm looking at the West and the East, and I'm taking that into consideration too.
Okay, I understand that. I want to say one last thing about this. The reason I have Harden neck and neck, maybe taking the lead now with the Greek Freak, is not just about what I said about Harden. I saw Antetokounmpo go up against Joel Embiid, who is asserting himself in the Eastern Conference right now. And when those two were matched up with each other, the Greek Freak couldn't do anything with Embiid. So even though Antetokounmpo had better counting numbers by the end of the game, Embiid got him, and Embiid's team won. And when I see stuff like that in a close race, that stuff matters to me. So